The Nine have returned in Destiny 2 episode Heresy, speaking for the first time in years. What they have to say is very interesting. They are still very much alive, and they're at war with each other. Welcome, Guardians. Today we discuss these mysteries. So before we get to the new card in Heresy, let's discuss what the Nine are and where they've been for those who need a refresher. They were already ancient when the first human beings named themselves. Their flesh was older than the stars, the dark dust wind that blows through the galaxy, pinched by the gravity of Sol and its planets, drawn into their cores and exhaled again. These were the Nine. In time, loops did form. Great arcs of outbound dust collapsed back to their sources to create circuits of shadow. The thickening and thinning of these circuits were the first thoughts of the Nine. They dwelt in massive indifference, unborn primordial gods. There was no force among them except gravity, no structure except the distribution of mass. Their hearts were in the cores of worlds, but their farthest streams faded out into the turn of the galaxy. They were the fountains of Aklis the night before chaos. But life arose on the worlds at the heart of the Nine. Tiny complicated motions of ecosystems and metabolisms and computations. That life left mass shadows in the wind of the Nine, plucking at them like harp strings. From these trembles of structure, the Nine learned to seed enormous resonating waves, thoughts vaster than worlds. So the Nine awoke, and in time they understood that they were as fragile as they were mighty. For if the life that seeded their thoughts ever passed away, they too would vanish. They had no eyes to catch light, they had no ears to hear. And yet they turned their wills upon the alien world of matter and strove to learn, for they knew they had to protect their hearts or die. The Nine are beings of dark matter connected to the universe and more specifically the planets in our solar system. They've existed for a long time, way before humans, and their very thoughts emerge from gravitational loops in this dark matter current. The Nine are dependent on life to survive and are spread across vast distances. From that card, they can affect reality without even being perceived. They were the ones that cut off our communications during the Red War, the reason we couldn't detect the Red Legion invading the city.
Subfeed's telling us.
Nothing.
Well, that's good, right?
No. I mean, they're not there. There are no satellites.
And that's not good.
You want our source, our primal cause. We are the shadows of your world's mass. Old dark dust, ever gravity-flowing intelligences, whirled around each world's core. 9 hourglass pinches in a galactic wind, too large to see, too small to miss. Our mass binds equals your matter frees. Our philosophy as slay divided. We try to guard and nurture you, and we cherish you as shadows cherish flame. Watching your swift, bright lives flicker, die, sustained by the patterns of your thought, but distant, unreachable. Beyond what we are, or what we were, the answer lies in serving. 2 sides equals a single coin. Alliance and contact, solitude and silence. Do you understand our fates are intertwined? For you seed the anisotrophy we sustain, but decay is decay is decay. A colossal fragility, a complex fiduciary. Tongueless we try to speak, there must be another way. We must become more than we are. Always together is never touching. Dependence is death fated. So that card was called Declaration, and it further explains this. The Nine are this shadow intelligence bound to the planets in Sol. They mention a couple of things like wanting to guard and nurture the life here, They also say what they are searching for, this answer that lies outside of their current nature. They want to evolve. There are a couple of ways they describe this. They could connect more and share experiences, or on the other side, detach and lie in silence. The Witch card explains that the 9 are divided into 2 factions. No, of course she is not safe, because there are factions among the 9. One faction sends Zur and Orin to study the Guardians in the light, to seek the secret of effect without cause, and to protect the source of that secret, the last source now that the Ahamkara are gone. Those 5 played at alchemy with the Cocytus gates, turning dark dust into energy and then into matter. But they could not unlock the secrets of our mad existence. They needed ambassadors, go-betweens. The other faction walks a different path, a path of folds and needles slipped through space-time itself. Existential syringes yielding new spaces to be remade as the 9 desire. They have tried to gather enough dark dust in one place to form a black hole and found it difficult. When the dark mass collapses in gravity's fist, the dust passes through itself and scatters. But difficult is not impossible. And there is far, far more dark matter in the universe than bright. They will find a way to make new worlds of it. They will end their dependence on life and on the light of Guardians, which the falling veil will soon snuff out forever.
Do you regret this?
What?
Judgment.
I have more agency as an agent than I ever did wielding the light.
You lost everything.
Nothing that ever mattered. I would die for those I love.
You don't understand.
No. We have enjoyed watching you. We came to say farewell. Our attention is required elsewhere.
All right. Thanks for the memories, you lunatic. Anything else I could do for you?
You're already doing it. Keep playing the game.
The 9 have given you their answer. We hope it sates your curiosity. You've certainly taught us much.
You're welcome.
So there are 2 factions. One is more friendly, if you want to call it that, and we're seekers of light and humanity. They made Zur and Orin to speak and interact with us. They tried to make physical bodies for themselves at the Cocytus gates, but failed. They wanted to harvest the light to become something new. On the opposite side, you have the dark faction of the 9. Members that wanted to focus on the opposite, folding space-time, manipulating reality, trying to reshape existence through a black hole and its gravity. That group wanted nothing to do with the Traveler, the Light, Guardians, or humanity. They wanted to build a new reality shaped by their own will. In Heresy, we've begun to get some more hints and stories about the 9. A strange object from seasonal challenges. A curio of the 9, which is likely for the Rite of the 9 activity in Act 3. The Emissary is going to return as the vendor, so will there be more story secrets? We aren't sure. Now we come to the new lore, a sidearm called Division here in Act 2 of Heresy, which further explains the division between the 9 and their goals moving forward. This is the first time we've had a card where the 9 spoke in years. Our children live, the threat of soul defeated. We remain, we remain. A foolish thought, a threat defeated is our opportunity wasted. We remain bound. Such cruel exaggeration. Can we not engage in elegant conversation as we used to? How can we be prisoners when we need sapiens to ensure our survival? Do we not exist in response to their being? The final shape thwarted by the light creatures, the necessary idiocy of the witness, non-viable means of escape. A childish viewpoint, sourness amplified by arrogance. Our fate, plain as gravity, accept its pull or fall regardless. Your side is complacent, worthless futility. We must look beyond. The chains of matter, reality is malleable if only we will it so. Bright strength lies in the bonds of us, bonds of matter, bonds of love. Your solution falls short, all tethers iron. Invented enemies equals outscorned friends. Our divide ever wider, 9 foes insolent denial. I mourn unity, grieve coalition. Follow your foolishness. But if all you find is oblivion and the peril of our children, we all perish. So the 9 were already divided between 2 factions, but now it seems to be getting worse. They are arguing with each other. That card seems to be different members of the 9 speaking. So there's clearly 2 sides here. One group that wants to connect with the universe and life within still, make bonds. But the other side wants to leave their existence behind entirely, find a new way to exist. With major enemies gone like the Witness, the 9 can begin their work once more. They say that even with some of the biggest threats gone like the Witness, they still exist as they did. They're wasting their potential. This begs the question, how are they going to change if they do, and has it already begun? We speculated in yesterday's video about the entity in between Oryx and the Winnower in the deep who now controls the Taken. So could the Taken possibly be a way for the 9 to evolve?
We are not alone in the deep. Something I cannot see stands between the Winnower and the Taken. Carve these offerings free from their weakness, King, before something else does. What does it want?
Power.
Like you.
No one is like her.
We don't understand.
She has agency like you wouldn't believe. She can leave this place.
This place. We can leave this place.
Think bigger. She can leave this game.
We don't understand.
Then I'm afraid it's impossible to explain.
Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. An update on the 9 in Heresy and the battles they're having amongst themselves. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.